So you started work on your mental health, your emotional health. Was that shortly thereafter leading to Passion Struck, or how did 2017 to 2021 unfold for you?
During a period of this time, I have another company called Avesto, and that does fractional and interim assignments primarily for private equity companies, although we are a veteran-owned service-connected company as well. So we can do government work. But I was doing that. But as I started going through more and more of the treatment and looking back over my career, it gave me a lot of time that I stepped into, my own mind, and, really came to the realization that for a big chunk of my career, I had been really unhappy. And I think it's something that a lot of people probably face. I mean, you reach this point where, I was making seven figures when I was the CIO of Dell. But I was working 100-hour weeks. I was traveling internationally 2 weeks out of the month, immense stress, compounding with everything else that I had going on me. And, so as I got through dealing with finally getting answers to my lingering issues from traumatic brain injury, dealing with the PTSD, I just felt like I had a calling from a higher power that, with what you've been through, you can help people and do it in a very authentic way because you've experienced it yourself. And so I basically got this message, that I'm supposed to help what I call the underdogs, but it's you're your own underdog in your own life, which was the case for me, and I think it's the case for so many. And to just put this into reality, entrepreneurship and business vitality, the two things that made the United States the envy of the world have been in steep decline for 25 years. You couple that with across the planet right now, based on the Gallup surveys that have come out, 85% of the world's 1 billion workers hate their jobs and are disengaged. So there's 85%. In the United States, it's about 70%. But, I recently did a podcast episode with retired Navy SEAL Commander Mark Devine, squared away dude. And he and I we're talking about David Goggins' rule, which is only 30% of people are living to their full capability. Based on Mark's research and my independent research, I think it's less than 10%. And so those are all people who are underdogs in their own life. And I say it's, you're bored with your career. You've been beaten up by, a coworker or your boss. You've been battered in a relationship or through trauma, or, you're broken with mental health issues or just spiritually because your life isn't going the way it's supposed to. And so, it fits a lot of people, but what I'm trying to do now is to use this Passion Struck organization to kind of be a catalyst that helps these people figure out, how do they get from where they are in their lives today to a point where they're taking action on those dreams, aspirations, to the point that they're living a no regrets life. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I feel like I've been called to do.